All right.
Play the intro song.
Play the intro song. Bum, 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 or something of that nature. All right. Then there's our
Don't play some
normal.
Limp Bizkit like yeah, like some '90s.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
what,
yeah, yeah,
what?
yeah, 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 yeah. That's a ridiculousness because that's what this show's full of. Let me send out the tweet to my wonderful followers on Twitter.
That's the
Yep.
perfect intro song. There we go. Okay, got it up. Got it up and running. The King, Jerry Lawler, or what is that?
Oh, that's Minoru Suzuki, man.
It looks like Jerry the King at first with
No,
the crown and stuff.
yeah. Well, see that he is the. Now, see, Minoru Suzuki's the king. You got Suzuki Goon right there. Yeah, this
Oh,
is
okay. I could see.
this is I got this at Pro
Nice.
Wrestling Tees, from Pro Wrestling Tees. So yeah,
Nice Ace is already here, making an early
this
appearance.
woo man. Oh, that's awesome. Got the everybody put it on
Last
Facebook.
time Miss Ace was this early, Seth Rollins could wrestle a whole match without his wrist guards falling off. That was an old joke. Old joke, but a good one.
Old joke. All right, so let me. Got somebody in chat. Not too
Doing
bad,
good,
Miss
Miss
A.
Ace. How about you?
I'm doing good. And hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, joined this week by Eric Wade. EZ is hanging out with his whole family, and hope he's having fun doing that. So he'll be back next week, and hopefully, we'll have a spirited discussion. He did send me his WrestleMania Backlash predictions, and yeah, so we'll definitely be covering that along with NXT and AEW. So very, very exciting show this week. But if you've never seen this show before, this is the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. Eric and I met it all in Starcast. We love wrestling. We love talking wrestling. We love sharing our love of wrestling with other passionate wrestling fans like each and every one of you out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, we are just wrestling fans. Our opinions are that of any other wrestling fan. We avoid insider terms because at the end of the day, we're not insiders. We're not wrestlers. We're just marks. And so this week is going to be a little special because we talked we talked last week about Eric's gonna try and watch a little bit more NXT because try and cover NXT, and he watched it this
Just have
week.
something to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a good episode of NXT, so we're just gonna lead right in with some NXT.
So my first whole thing about NXT is it took me about 3 nights to watch the whole thing. Like it airs on Tuesday, right?
Yes.
I tried to watch it Tuesday night, but I couldn't get a live stream or like an uploaded stream, whatever.
Michelle
I
in the
tried to
house, how
watch.
you doing? It's on Hulu. Do you have Hulu?
Peacock. I assumed it would have been on Peacock,
Right.
but it's not.
Yeah, I thought
But even on
that's
YouTube,
interesting. But yeah.
But I like usually the next day someone will upload the whole show, if not highlights or whatever, on YouTube. So it's like
Right.
that's how I normally watch it. And the next day they did, but I was just so uninterested. Like I was like, man, this is almost like a chore to watch it. So I just skipped it and watched John Wayne Gacy documentary. And then today after work, I was like, okay, I got to do this for the show. Let's watch it. 47-minute highlight reel, whatever. And it was good. I have notes about it. And now I'm like, okay, it took me this long to watch it, whatever, and I made myself watch it, but it's like homework. Once you get into it, you're like into it.
Right.
In a month, I'm going to be Mr. NXT. Just wait. But
right
now, I'm just new to it, and I have some notes from what I've seen, whatever. It was good, and I still am not completely sold on the whole, WWE kind of progression network, but from what I saw and stuff, there was some good stuff. So
well, I mean, it's kind of like my comparison I made a number of weeks ago. I get exactly what you're saying. Like okay, you get attached to one of these wrestlers, and then they go to the main roster like Keith Lee did, and then get treated like absolute dog shit. So it's like I get what you're saying, but I guess I guess I'm
Yeah.
just used to that. I'm used to independent wrestlers, and you're like, oh man, this guy's so great. And he's like, hey guys, going to WWE. And you're like, well, that was fun. I hope you do
Right.
well. I hope you break the streak. I hope you break the curse of like all the bad things happening. And oh, you didn't. Oh, that sucks. Making some money. I'm happy for you. But I guess just being an independent wrestling fan, probably a little bit more deeper into the independent scene, 10 years ago than I am now. But like that was when they were snatching up everybody left and right. Was about 10 years ago. I guess I guess I'm just so used to it. It's like, well, hold on to good wrestling any way you possibly can and enjoy the good wrestling and enjoy seeing this wrestler you like do as well as they can, because eventually they're going to go the place where they're either going to become a giant superstar or they're going to get treated like shit. So,
Right. And case in point, just recently, Aleister Black had like a huge comeback, and then they completely dropped off the cliff again. It's like, if you can't get a guy like Aleister Black over on the main roster, then you either aren't trying hard enough or you're just bad at your job. Like,
or you just think he's not good enough. Shit, pal. All right, so let's get into NXT. First match of the night was Karrion Kross versus Austin Theory. I thought it was a good match. I like it. It was like pretty much it is just kind of like the the setup for the bigger match, which is Kross and Gargano down the road.
Balor, right? Next week.
Well, yeah, Kross is wrestling Balor in 2 weeks, I believe. But you can tell just with the story progression, they're building up to a Kross Gargano match, like just like with how this whole match progressed. But I thought it was a good match. I thought the referee stoppage was interesting. But
whoever Karrion Kross, who's he with? Scarlett Bordeaux or whatever? Is that her name?
Yes.
She's way fucking too pretty to be a wrestler. She should be like an actress or something. Like maybe she can't act, but she's way too pretty to be taking bumps in the face and shit like that.
I don't know about that. I mean, she wants to be a wrestler. She's talk about independent wrestling. She used to come down to the St. Louis area quite a bit to wrestle, and sweet lady. And I'm very happy for her success. But I don't know. I don't know. I think she's a good wrestler, so I don't really want to. I won't go that far, but yeah.
Michelle, I don't think Michelle liked that either. No, I'm not saying that she's not a talented wrestler. I've only seen her managerial work, being a manager with Karrion Kross, whatever. But watching this episode of NXT, this is my first NXT. I was like, wow, it doesn't seem like she wants to be in this position. It seems like more like she can have success elsewhere, but I'd watch her like on a TV show or something for sure.
Well, I want to see her wrestle more, but like she's got a good role. I do appreciate her role right now, but yeah, I definitely want to see her wrestle more, but that's just me.
Right. Well, I haven't seen her wrestle yet, so I'm down to see it. I'm just
right.
Yeah. I hope that didn't come out too wrong. I was just, yeah. Sorry, Michelle. I didn't mean to offend anyone. I was just spitballing.
So next match is MSK versus Breezango, and like I didn't dislike this match, but it was kind of one of those. I hate to be like, you're gonna hear me bring up a lot of like the rolling moral high ground of the internet wrestling fan quite a bit this week. MSK has a match, and it wasn't a bad match, and they do a lot of stuff, and it's not bad, but. The Young Bucks do that shit, and they get told they're killing the fucking goddamn business, and MSK does it, and it's like, oh my god, you know what kind of awesome stuff they're teaching them there at the Performance Center? I can't believe this, they're just so good, and it's like, when the Young Bucks have this match, y'all get butthurt.
Right, I don't know, I just don't like Breezango. It's like, these guys feel like the super seniors in high school that just hang out, and it's like, can you guys be, like, yeah, you guys do something like you're not really putting the new guys over necessarily. They could do that by themselves. It's like we don't need Breezango to put over new talent. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I think
maybe
I do think
Tyler Breeze more because he was like the champion at one point and stuff like that. He kind of has a little bit more clout, but at the same time, it's kind of like it's just weird. The whole thing was just kind of.
Well,
watching this one, I was just like, oh, this is kind of corny.
I hear what you're saying, but I guess it is kind of. They're kind of that they're the people that stay on NXT to help the new people learn. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get it.
like they're
It's
the
just weird to watch.
they are the NXT like what Dustin Billy Gunn and
Yeah.
R2 AEW. Yeah, I'm gonna say very very. I see what you're saying there. Yeah, that is. It felt very very PWG when that happened. I've compared NXT to PWG quite a bit because to me NXT. I'm not saying all their storylines, but it's like when I look at PWG as a promotion, it's like, hey, go there and watch a lot of really, really good wrestling matches, but the storylines, more often than not, are very, very lacking or basic. They'll have a few that are really good, but they're kind of lacking or basic. And that's kind of, ever since kind of NXT went out of its quote-unquote golden age in like about 2019, like that's kind of how I've seen NXT, at least since like about the end of 2019 is kind of, it's like, well, this is like, here's some good wrestling and like here's a couple good storylines, but overall it's like you kind of don't get both. You can get the good wrestling here and you don't really get the good stories. It's just kind of is what it is. But Pete Dunne versus Lee.
They're more indie too, right? Like they're not really trying to do week to week.
Well, yeah, exactly. But like that's why I'm saying it's the detriment to NXT. In my opinion, is it's like, okay, like you have like a couple good stories, but it's like mainly just go see this. Like, I like watching, like, these are some good matches, and I enjoyed watching NXT this week, and I'm glad that I can talk about NXT this week, but I feel like NXT, in some case, like, just watch the takeovers and you're fine. Watch the takeovers and a couple of the matches that pop up at the end of the year from the weekly show, and you're fine. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when you're a TV product with a weekly show, like, that's not good. Being compared to PWG that runs once a month and it's come see the dream matches, like, I don't really like that, but I mean, it is just kind of, it is what it is. But Pete Dunne.
Well, Pete Dunne is probably my favorite NXT guy right now. He seems legit. Like he just seems like a legit badass. He kind of lost a little bit too much weight. He's kind of a little bit too skinny right now. He needs to put a little bit more weight on. But he seems like a badass. Like he just seems like someone that will hit you and it hurts. Like
And also, you'll have to go check these out whenever we were playing. When me and Nick were doing some Fire Pro Wrestling.
Wait. Michelle says she only watches the takeovers. To be honest, yeah. Well, join the party because we're starting to watch NXT now.
Yeah,
so we can have something to talk
about. Come in on the ground floor.
This was my first NXT, so this could be your first too, Michelle. Let's all watch it together. There's easy.
Easy in the house. Hope you're enjoying the time with the family, man. I totally lost my train of thought just now with all these. Okay.
I know, my bad.
Pete Dunne. Lost my train of thought for Pete Dunne. Tangent. I did some Let's Play of a Fire Pro with Nick couple years ago. Just some Let's Play snippet videos. Back when I was consistently doing the drinking and gaming videos. And we created like a bunch of the people that were on the channel and a bunch of our independent wrestler friends. And then like we started our own promotion and like we downloaded some of the other wrestlers. So we had, and they had some New Japan talent on Fire Pro. So like we had Pete Dunne, me, Minoru Suzuki, and Jedi. And we were all like in the our version of Suzuki Goon. So, but Pete Dunne and I had won the tag titles for the promotion that we created. So he used to be part of a team called British Strong Style. Well, our team name was Geeky Strong Style. That's what's up.
That's geeky weights. The bruiser weights.
The geek that would have been a good one. We should have went with that one. But yeah, if
Bruiser Geeks.
The Bruiser Geeks, that'd have been a good one. But yeah.
But Pete Dunne's pretty badass.
I like Pete Dunne a lot.
I'm going to be watching for him. Yeah.
So, okay, now you like Pete Dunne now, so definitely you say you like him better than when you watched his match with Walter 2 years ago in New York City?
Well, yeah, because Pete Dunne, like I said, he it seems like now he's evolving himself because New York City was one of his first U.S. matches too. He's like a UK guy at that point, and
Right.
then he now he's trying to kind of reinvent himself, or now he's trying to like I said, he lost a lot of weight, which in WWE terms kind of means he's going to get a big push or he's going to
Right.
whatever. But like I was saying, I've always liked him. He always came across badass to me. But watching tonight, he just and with the match, whatever. I don't know if it just seems more stiff, but he might not even be.
My only real gripe,
opponent.
and it's not even with Pete Dunne, but it's just kind of like my gripe with the show as a whole. Is like you've had 2 ref stoppages in one show. It's like again, AEW would have done that. We'd have heard like the collective Twitterverse bitch, piss, moan, and complain. But when NXT does, it's like, don't you understand? They're trying to establish so and so is a badass. So.
Well, yeah, but that's the whole NXT like crowd too of just.
Yeah.
Cope. It's a state of well, but it's more gritty. It's dark. It's whatever. That's why I don't watch it because it's like, yeah, but where's Pete Dunne going to be when he goes in the main roster? Where's my favorite guy right now? Or Pete Dunne's my favorite wrestler, like intimidating, kind of like badass.
Right.
My favorite character coming up right after this was Santo Escobar, where it's like he's probably my favorite character. I'm like, dude, this guy's badass. He has a great entrance. He has a great look. But he's straight up just going to be Elias when he joins the main roster. Mid-Carter, Elias, he's not going to get shit. Yeah. And you can see it coming. So It's like, why get involved in it now? Why, waste my time?
Why get involved in it now is because you can at least go, remember all those great matches?
Remember that shirt I bought? Remember that $20 shirt and the $10 shipping I bought for that Santos Escobar shirt that doesn't mean shit now? Yeah. I have like 5 Elias shirts and I'm just like pissed about it still.
I get what you're saying, but it's like one of those like, I'm gonna use somebody that didn't even really get used much on NXT. Like I like Chris Hero. And I saw Chris Hero in Ring of Honor. I saw Chris Hero come to St. Louis for the Independence, and I'm like, I love Chris Hero. Chris Hero's great. And it's like one of those like, okay, he's going to WWE. Like, I really hope he hits a homer. And he doesn't. But it's like, well, I don't regret, the 5, 6, 7, 8 years I spent watching Chris Hero on the Independence and Ring of Honor and PWG and all that stuff. Same thing with Cesaro. I was a Claudio Castagnoli fan through and through. And it's like, well, I hope he does well in WWE. And it's like, he's done okay for himself, but it's like, I don't regret all the time I was invested in Claudio Castagnoli at the time, just because he went to WWE and then they too, I don't know if stupid's the right word, but don't appreciate, haven't appreciated his talent yet. So I get what you're saying, but it's also one of those. It's like, fucking enjoy good wrestling with people you like while you can, because it may not be there tomorrow.
That is true. Yeah, there is something to say about that, because it's like, yeah, it is a good show overall, and I can't. If I have to look for stuff to pick apart, I'll find it. But if I'm just sitting there enjoying wrestling, I'm gonna enjoy it, whatever. But I'm at that mentality where I can't get past it, where it's like, but I've seen what happens. It's been 5, 6, 10 years of NXT, and it just happens every time. Where it's like, I don't know, man. But like I said, it's a hard sell for me. That's why it took me 3 nights in a row to try to watch this whole episode. But it's just like, I watched it and then I liked it, so it's like, all right, we'll see if I can build off of it and stuff. But if they can build off of it, that'd be great too.
Yeah,
it's a working. It's a synergy.
Right. Tuesdays are for Taz and Excalibur. Well, why not both? I'll be honest. I don't really watch Dark. It's easier for me to get through NXT than it is Dark. And that's not a knock on Dark. It's just.
Well, Dark's also YouTube. You can watch it.
Yeah, you watch it anytime you want. It's just kind of like, hey, something good was on Dark. Okay, I'll check out Dark. Or, hey, this independent wrestler that you know is on Dark. Like, okay, I'll check out Dark. Like, I was definitely there when the Man Scout was there.
It's Sunday. There's no uploads. I'm gonna watch Dark now.
Right.
Like that,
yeah. So going back to the NXT, but yeah, I like the match. Just kind of, complain about 2 ref bumps in one night. 2 ref stoppages in one night's also kind of, not my cup of tea. Raquel Gonzalez versus Mercedes Martinez. I really like this match.
Yeah.
So, speaking of independent wrestlers I like, Mercedes Martinez, really, appreciate what she's doing in NXT right now. So
I'm a fan of this too. Just
the
the
storyline was
marquee
good.
Gonzalez versus Martinez. That's some shit that makes me proud, being Hispanic in East LA. Gonzalez versus Martinez. That's
Uh,
some shit that I would pay for.
I did really, I certainly appreciate that. But I really felt bad for Mercedes Martinez where they made the line like I've already accomplished
They
more than
both
anything
look
you.
badass
Yeah,
too.
but like when she said like I've already accomplished more than anything you have in your entire career, and I'm like, uh, I feel sad because
Yeah.
I was like I was watching Mercedes Martinez on Shimmer DVDs back in 2009.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember her being in the Indies a few years ago. So my dog's scratching. Let me put it on mute for a second. But go ahead.
The Hit Row do a promo. It was okay. Like I get it. Like it wasn't a bad promo, but it was just kind of like it was a promo. Um,
Oh, this is my note for these guys. I like them, but holy shit, does this feel familiar? Because it feels like the Acclaim plus
right,
Jade Cargill. They wish they could be the Jade Cargill. They would. Everyone's like, dude, everyone has eyes on Jade Cargill, and you can tell when they're ripping her off right now.
right. Yes, very much so. Um, Kyle O'Reilly versus Oni Lorcan with Pete Dunne. Match was okay. I kind of expected better with the people involved. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Bobby Fish comes back at the end.
So did they break up, or is Undisputed Era over?
Pretty
Because I didn't.
much. Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
2 out of 3 falls match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Kushida versus Santos Escobar. This is a great match. This might be one you hear us talk about at the end of the year awards, or at least me. It could be. It could be.
Yeah, this is great. Kushida, he reminds me. I used to have a friend growing up skateboarding and stuff. I used to have a friend who we used to go skate together, and for whatever reason, I skate at this point. I was like 13 years in, and he was only like 2 years in, but he could do every fucking trick that you can imagine and the cleanest style. It was like holy! It looks like a video game when he would do it because it was so clean. That's Kushida. When I was watching tonight,
Right.
I was like, dude, this guy is so fucking smooth. Like he is so good. It's nuts watching him because I was like, if you're a wrestler, that's the style you want. You want it to
Right.
look clean, you want it to look easy, you want it to look hard hitting, you want it to look,
The
I
only
was
thing
like, dude, this guy.
the only thing I feel like a little disappointed in with Kushida is he left New Japan because New Japan was only going to use him as a junior heavyweight. So he decided to go to America and go to the WWE, and now he's a cruiserweight still. But I'll at least give him this. He's at least
Well, he's the
in.
champ at least.
Yeah, he's at least the champ. I mean, like his last match in New Japan was him losing the junior heavyweight title. So it's like it kind of is what it is. But like, I don't blame him for leaving because it's like one of those like, well, I just feel bad because he didn't want to be a junior in New Japan, and now he's in WWE as a cruiserweight, which got the same kind of ceiling. But I guess at least he's doing it for probably more money, or at least challenging himself with a new set of opponents where he could have like stayed in New Japan and like just been fodder for fucking played second fiddle to Will Ospreay or played second fiddle to Jay White and just been.
Or at this point, he could be beating Mox for the U.S. title, but
We'll get to that.
yeah. He could be the guy, like if he's like you're saying, if he was in New
No,
Japan,
he wouldn't have. They wouldn't have moved him to the heavyweight division, so there's no way he would have been beating Moxley in anything, unfortunately. But good match. Definitely,
But
like
yeah,
I said,
he was great. Well, him and Santos. This is what I'm saying. I was like, dude, both of them did a great match together. 2 out of 3 falls too is not easy to do, and it was a good match, whatever. But like I'm saying, Kushida's smooth as fuck, deserves better. Santos, you just see him mid carding out.
right. So here is the next part of this is predictions. There will be no contest for this one. It's just our predictions for WrestleMania Backlash. And other than seeing his family, Easy is probably very happy that he does not have to say the name of that pay-per-view live for all to hear. So, Easy did message me his predictions to be earlier. If I can find the messaging app here on my iPad, we can definitely put his put all this on there. All right. So the first match, Damian Priest versus The Miz. Easy, according to this, is picking Damian Priest. Eric, who are you picking in this one?
I'm gonna go Priest. There's no way that they're gonna drop the ball. What the fuck am I even trying to say? Damian Priest, just because he's Priest.
Right. I'm going The Miz because I can see them dropping the ball.
Yeah. It's just yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, man, I don't want them to drop the ball in Priest, but we just went over what happens to the NXT guys when they get call ups, and this is Priest. This is writing all over the wall. And ask Aleister Black.
Yep. Next match, the Mysterios versus the Dirty Dogs.
Who the hell are the Dirty Dogs?
That is Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. You know, the tag team wrestling in WWE. Two random guys called the Dirty Dogs, not even on WrestleMania card. Not even on the WrestleMania card. Yeah, so they're going to be on the WrestleMania Backlash card, though.
Well, at least they got a name. And that's Ziggler and Roode.
Yeah. Easy is going with the Mysterios. Eric, who are you going with?
Mysterios.
I'm gonna go the Mysterios as well. Fuck it, just
the Dirty Dog. That's just fun. That's funny.
Dirty Dog.
Funny.
If I hear Dirty Dogs, I think of this like silly fucking Norm Macdonald sketch that he did.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
On
Dirty Dog again.
Dirty
you
dog.
Dirty Dog. You Dirty Dog. Does that remind you of any relatives? Yeah, my in-laws. You Dirty Dog. Yeah. Norm Macdonald's the greatest.
I love Norm Macdonald. Wow, there are two people, and I know JC, who did some videos in the past with us. No, he gets the reference. So there are three people that get Norm Macdonald, Dirty Dog.
I love Norm Macdonald. He's hilarious. People don't get him. They don't like my sister. Fucking hates him. He doesn't. He's like Will Ferrell. He doesn't have to say anything, and I'll start laughing.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. So next match. Hang on, I have too many things open here. It is shit. Rhea Ripley versus Asuka and Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Title. EZ is picking Rhea Ripley. Who are you picking?
Oh God, it's gonna be Charlotte. Oh man. Please let it be Ripley, but just for the fucking predictions, I'm gonna say it's Charlotte because it's going to be.
Well, you're not blocking anybody from happiness of a bonus prize in this one. Yeah, there's no prizes, so you're good. You know, you're not trying to block anyone from their happiness this time around, so it's okay.
I just don't know, but they're just not gonna like Charlotte, Asuka, and Rhea Ripley. I saw a meme the other day where they it said there was 3 pay-per-views where they added Charlotte like unnecessarily, and it was like SummerSlam, WrestleMania, and something else. But it's just like, or maybe this one actually, Backlash, whatever. But it's like, why do they keep on adding Charlotte? But she always wins too. That's the thing. It's like she
did win a WrestleMania, remember?
Yeah,
she didn't win.
But it's like, well, yeah. But the SummerSlam, like when she was against Banks and just other stuff where it's like, dude, she's always inserting herself. She's always winning. She's unnecessary. I want Ripley to win, and literally, I just don't see Ripley winning. I think Charlotte's going to take it.
I'm going Rhea Ripley because I was way too big of a deal at WrestleMania for them to end it now. But again, who the fuck knows? Who knows? Fuck knows with WWE? So
this is WrestleMania Backlash. So this is like. This is our chance to change everything that we tried for that last month.
Yeah. So we mentioned the Dirty Dogs being left off of WrestleMania, but so was Bayley.
Now I love the name. I didn't like it at first, but now it's my new favorite.
Yeah. Bayley was left off of WrestleMania, and she'll be taking on Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Eric, who have you got and why? EZ is picking Bianca Belair.
Yeah, I'm going Belair.
I'm going Belair as well. Too fucking soon. Too fucking soon. All right.
Hopefully it just doesn't whip Bayley. I don't want to see that whip spot. I never liked it, and I don't like it when she did Sasha. I don't want to see it to Bayley. Just stop that shit.
I mean, it's her gimmick, though. I mean,
I know, but like you have to have a conversation in the back with the person you're about to do it to, and you gotta say, I'm gonna whip you with my hair. It's gonna hurt. Leave a welt and whatever.
Don't cancel.
Like, okay.
Don't cancel Peacock EZ because I want to do projects with you that involve you having to have Peacock. So please keep your Peacock subscription. Please. Should I make the joke that my mind just went to?
No.
Okay. Okay, I'll stop myself.
Anything involving Peacock can go so many different ways.
Just saying. All right, so WWE Championship Triple Threat match: Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman. EZ is picking McIntyre to win. Eric, who are you picking?
Holy crap. I don't know. Should I just throw some dice or something to choose my... Like, this is a toss-up. Lashley, McIntyre, and Strowman.
Yeah. This is the match that, to me, that has the most intrigue on it. Like, for me personally. Like, this is the one I'm the most intrigued by.
I'm going to say that they're going to let Lashley run for it for a while, and he might pin Braun. I don't think he's going to do Drew twice in a row, whatever, but I think... maybe Braun takes a loss because Braun is one of those guys who just looks strong all the time, whenever it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm going Lashley as well. I feel like, again, too soon. And I said that was the match that has the most intrigue to it, where I can't pick a winner in that match. Here's the match that I want there to be a winner. One winner, but I know that winner's not going to happen, so I'm not as intrigued by it, but I will be, you will hear me from Athletic Geek HQ screaming in delight if the match goes the way I want it to. The last match is Universe Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. EZ is choosing Roman Reigns. Eric, who are you picking in this one?
Obviously Reigns, but man, Cesaro, I hope he just gets his day in the sun one time.
Right. My heart wants Cesaro to win as much as anybody in wrestling, like, in the past. Like, as much as, you know, going back to 1996, like, I almost wanted as much as Shawn in the Iron Man match, and I almost wanted as much as, like, you know, Kenny in the Daniel Bryan, or Kenny, or... you know, it All In with Cody, or with Naito, or all those names that I was really, really, really wanting to see win, you know, grab the proverbial brass ring. Like, Cesaro is right up there, but it's just, you know, fairy tales are fun, and it's not happening this time around, so...
Yeah, he's always going to be one of those guys like Dolph Ziggler, where people are just going to be like, man... if they only push Cesaro, if they only give him a title run, if they only whatever.
I will play devil's advocate to a certain extent. You know, if you're going to have Cesaro win his first title, WrestleMania Backlash is not the show to do that on. Like, at least fucking give him SummerSlam or something. You know, so I will play devil's advocate to maybe not yet, but damn. Dude's fucking due for something. Just give him a fucking chance.
But, yeah, that I feel like that's what they've been doing lately, where it's like, well, we'll try to push him and see what the reaction is, but they're piping in their own crowd noise anyway, so they're not going to be like listening to shit, you know, like,
yeah,
unless he sells more shirts on the line that day.
COVID-19 2019 was the best thing to ever happen to WWE because now they can completely control their narrative. They don't have to they're not going to have anybody go, no, fuck you, Randy Orton, fuck you, Batista, we don't want to see
Boo
you.
Reigns or CM Punk chance.
Yeah, you're not going to have that. You can just go like, fucking Randy Orton, everybody loves Randy Orton, this is awesome. This is awesome. Hear everybody, hear the WWE Universe going crazy for Orton.
Well, how we were all talking about how we don't understand Logan or Jake Paul, whatever, but they were just involved with the WrestleMania, whatever. Right. But my coworker who watches boxing knows who those guys are because he watches boxing, whatever. I was just telling him the other day about, they just did WrestleMania and they got booed, but they try to pipe in fake chants, like fake crowd chants, like clapping. And then you can hear that the fake chant noise went away, but the real audience kept on booing. So it's like, you can just tell that people don't like these guys, but WWE's trying to get them over, but it's whatever. But the real boxing fans, like my coworker too, don't like them either. So it's just like, why are you trying to get over these guys who no one wants? Like, what, your fans are saying boo, the boxing fans are saying boo. His YouTube fans might be watching or whatever, but it's like, is that really what you're going after, WWE? Like, holy crap.
Right, so now it is time for AEW Dynamite talk. Opening match, IWGP US title match, Jon Moxley versus Yuji Nagata. Jon Moxley came out to Wild Thing, the entrance music.
Okay. I thought this was just because the stream I watched didn't want to use the real music. Like, I thought they were trying to not get copyright struck, so they didn't. When Jon Moxley first came out, there was no music at all. So I was like, okay, they don't want to use his theme music. And then when he won, they played Wild Thing, and I was like, that's I guess they're playing music so they don't get copyright struck. But you're saying they really fucking did that? That's hilarious.
Well, Wild Thing was Atsushi Onita's theme in SNW in Japan. Or at least, like, it wasn't the... it was like a Japanese cover of Wild Thing when Onita came out, but Mox came out to the real thing, and this was a good match, but it wasn't.
Well, you're the New Japan guy, so you can say whether or not he put on a good performance. I thought it was awesome. It was predictable.
Exactly. It was too predictable. I knew. Like, as soon as he hit the Death Rider, I'm like, well, here we go again. Mox Lesnar, keeping the title. Not going to be in Japan to defend it anytime soon, but,
right.
And I don't think it's Jon Moxley, holding the company hostage or nothing, but it's like, again, it's one of those things, it's like I had to listen to for 3 years, and I didn't disagree with them, how it's, nobody should have a belt if they're not going to be around to defend it regularly. WWE putting a belt on Brock Lesnar is the absolute worst thing ever if he's not going to show up week in, week out to defend it. Okay.
And that's what I fucking hate, too, because, like, when Rollins wins the belt and every week he just has to weasel it, and it's like, does that make him look better? Yeah. Does that make the championship look like...
But it's like, okay, I agree. I agree with you, but now when Jon Moxley gets it, it's like, well, but fucking dude's kicking some ass. Come on, like, fucking stealing shows left and right. You gotta give him a pass. It's like, no.
This is a hot subject. Chat's going off right now, just by the way. But yeah, I guess we got a lot of opinions about it. I thought it was a good match. I like I'm saying, I know you told me in Easy who this guy was because I was just like, oh shit, a New Japan guy's coming. That's cool.
But you're like, yeah, but it's more like but it's more like I'm.
Well, would you say like it's more like if Billy Gunn won the belt, where it's like, yeah, but what's Billy Gunn really doing with the title shot or whatever?
It's just like Nagata's just kind of like he's not. I like what. I don't give Moxley a pass like I don't give Brock Lesnar a pass. I'm not gonna. I don't understand why Moxley. It's not Moxley. I don't understand why he gets like why you're morally okay to be okay with Mox doing it, but like when Brock Lesnar's around, like fuck yeah, piece of shit, fuck him. Like I don't. I'm not with that.
To kind of add to what you're saying too, Ray's like that, where he says, "Oh, Kenny's holding the AAA title for hostage because he doesn't defend it."
Yeah,
Then he
that's
just
something
has it.
else. Yeah,
At least Mox has defended
I will give
it.
him that much.
Last week we were saying like they just put out that 2-hour video of all of his title defenses where I was saying like watch it because he's burying all these guys as he defends it, but he doesn't need it, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So it is kind of weird. It is weird still.
I would like,
and it would be nice for him to lose it.
I want to see, honestly, I just want to see, like, right now they need it more in Japan than Moxley needs it on AEW. That's my
more
gripe.
Of a knock on Japan's booking right now, where they haven't raised anyone to be the top competitor.
Oh, they have plenty of people that could do it. They just, like, I get it, but it's
you know who would be perfect? Like, just imagine if Brian Cage didn't go to AEW but New Japan right now, and then he challenged Moxley
that
for the IW.
That would be good, but I don't.
That would
honestly,
be perfect.
Of the people in New Japan right now, Eric's saying Zack Sabre Jr. and
he could, because he has that slinky style where it's like you can be a hard hitter, but I'm going to wrap you up. Like
I've been promoting. Like, I even brought this up on the Watch Along podcast that I had with the WrestleCon Super Show. That's just dropped when we're watching along with the stuff. I said, like, Zack Sabre Jr. needs to be the top gaijin in New Japan. Like, he's better than Jay White. He's got more charisma than Jay White. He's a better wrestler than Jay White. The only thing that Jay White has on Zack Sabre Jr. is look. That's it.
Right, but Sabre Jr., his style, even now, I can't think of anyone like him because maybe and this is really reaching, the Hybrid 2 guy, what's his name? Not the British dude, the
Jack
dark
Evans?
hair guy.
Evans?
The other one.
You said not the British guy. The not British guy is Jack Evans.
Isn't Evans the blonde British guy?
He's not British. Jack Evans is not British, no.
Well, what's the other guy's name?
Oh, fuck. What? Someone help me out in the chat, but yeah. No, absolutely not on Flip Gordon.
He reminds me of him because he wraps his opponent up. No, I don't think Flip. But
no.
Zack Sabre, I've seen him beat
Flip's
bigger opponents because he's done
anyway.
shit like that.
Yeah.
He's wrapped him around in weird ankle locks. He's done weird holds. He's like a snake. He wraps around and he fucking, I can see it. I can see Moxley losing to him because it's unexpected. And it's like Moxley like, oh yeah, I can take this guy, I'll fucking knock him out. But once he wraps him around and fucking gets him in a hold that he's not used to, whatever, I can see. Yeah.
But yeah, like that's what I'd like to see. Like, cause like fucking ZSJ, like I don't understand why they don't the dude moved to fucking Japan. The dude has turned down the WWE and is committed to New Japan. Everybody wants to praise Ospreay and Jay White for, they turned down NXT, aren't they great? It's like, so did fucking ZSJ. And he's better than the both of them.
I don't know, man. I'm still Ospreay. I've seen him a few times live, and I'm just like, I'm an Ospreay believer.
Thank you.
But I'm
not a fan of Ospreay. I guess that's just that's like. But yeah, like
I can see. To me,
it's not a matter
it's going to be Sabre's time soon because Ospreay's had his time. It's got to be Sabre's time soon, and if he can make his first big kind of, not first big win because he's had big wins, but if he can have his first, like cross promotion win against a guy like Mox, especially a guy like Mox, it's like, oh shit, Zack Sabre Jr. is now on the map, and we have to fucking pay attention. I remember.
My anger towards all this isn't so much just directed towards Mox. It's directed towards like that belt doesn't need to be like the unofficial third belt of AEW. It needs to be the third belt of New Japan, and like it's more so like it's more like just indicative of just like what the fuck has happened to Japan, and it's just like, well, but like people seem to be more okay with it because it's New Japan and it's Jon Moxley rather than like the exact same shit. Everybody was like, oh my god, this is so terrible when WWE and Brock Lesnar does it. I'm gonna quote George Lopez. It's the same shit. The same shit.
George Lopez, he just came up with my new favorite quote. He said, "You know how this beer is bad because I'm holding the bottle upside down." But Zack Sabre Jr. definitely needs to call up, needs to come up soon. He needs all that shit we're talking
Right.
about.
The only thing I can see a
Jeff
lot,
Cobb,
I
Jeff
see
Cobb, I could
Jeff
see
Cobb would be
doing
good
it
too.
too, but
Jeff Cobb would be great.
yeah,
Because so far him and Shingo had the match of the year in New Japan. So far, yes, I think it was even better than Shingo's match with Ospreay at Wrestle Kingdom. Cobb and Shingo. The only thing about Rocky Romero that makes me think he won't win the U.S. title is Rocky Romero's in the junior division, and they are very. There's
Rocky
not a lot.
Romero. He's that guy who's just there to have fun. He's not winning nothing.
Yeah, he's not really a serious threat, and he's a junior. In New Japan, like there isn't a lot. There very rarely do they have a lot of crossover. Like the closest you'll get to that is sometimes the junior champion will be in the G1 Climax, and Rocky Romero's not winning the junior title anytime soon. Like he
I don't
is,
think so. No.
Rocky Romero is the Peter Avalon of New Japan.
Yeah, or even
Yeah.
the Brian Cutler.
He's better, a little bit better off of Brandon Cutler, but I mean, like, yeah, he's, yeah. But, anyway, so, but still a good match. I don't know if I'll be talking about the end of the year, but still a damn good match. And if anything else, I'm glad a lot of people got to see Yuji Nagata, because you want to talk about best kept secret in wrestling for a long, long time, that's Yuji Nagata. Cody
It was
Rhodes,
cool though.
Double or
I
Nothing
dig it.
announcement, the most controversial segment on Dynamite, because if you look at Twitter, you'd think he killed kittens in the ring with how much they reacted to it. But I say it wasn't my favorite Cody promo. It wasn't undesirable to undeniable. It wasn't the stuff he was doing going into All In. But I give it credit for being good because Easy, the most Canadian to ever Canada, enjoyed it. And if he can enjoy something like that, then it must not be terrible.
Honestly, I saw the promo and I was like, I dug it. I was like, oh, it sounds like a normal Cody promo. It was smart, it was good, whatever. I didn't see that. I'm not on Twitter and none of that shit, but I heard from Simon's up and downs. He said that the internet exploded over this promo. I'm like, for what? But you're just telling me now. I'm just like, what do people like? I don't know.
They didn't like the whole that they're kind of going into like a patriotism thing, which a lot of people said that it's because, well, why is Cody bringing up America? It's like, well, I mean, like, Anthony's Boxing and Wrestling a Go-Go was like saying he doesn't like America and this, that, and the other. So it's like, I will admit that like we've kind of moved past like that as a nation, but like I didn't think he didn't go out there and fucking do Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He didn't go out there and do Lex Express. I thought it wasn't my favorite Cody promo, and I'd say that in the last.
Well, I thought it was smart because what he just said like, well, you came over here to live you came from England to be an American wrestler to live the American wrestler dream, but you're shitting all over it, so I'm gonna shit over you. I was like, oh, it makes sense. Like, okay, but hearing the internet melt down over. But that's where it's like people are just looking for shit to complain about at one point because it's like, yeah, I agree with you. It's not my favorite Cody proto. I saw the thing and I was like, okay, it's cool, but didn't really get me in the tears or in the feels like some other ones did or whatever. But
yeah, it's not like
it didn't outrage me. It didn't offend me.
Yeah,
it
was like. It was kind of like your middle of the road shit, but like it just made the internet. And I see what you're saying, but it's like, I see what Michelle's saying, but it's like one of those like you'd think that you'd think that Cody Rhodes just went out there and went, yeah, there's a kid, and I'm gonna kick that little bastard, and yeah, there's a sick kid, I'm gonna fucking just punch that kid in the face, and yeah, and y'all go fuck yourselves, like, I mean,
right.
Patriotism isn't really doesn't really sell in pro wrestling right now. It just doesn't because it's so because it's just there's so many different there's so many different countries watching. You can't really. It's hard to really sell on like this person because they're from this country. Like that's passe. But on the flip side, it's like, well, Cody didn't relate it into like he wasn't Duggan. So like I get why people don't like it, but I also like maybe. There are better hills to die on. There are significantly more relevant hills to die on than this one. Like when Matt Riddle gets a belt, that's a hill worth dying on.
Right. I'm just reading the comments right now because there's a lot of. My whole opinion about this whole thing is like, okay, the nationalism angle, like you're saying, is a dead horse. Rusev versus Cena, when it was like, this isn't, you know what I mean?
I will say that one was kind of like that was the last time it was done well. Was Rusev
But it was
and
just
Cena.
like Hogan and
Right.
Hogan and Sheik. It was the same tropes over and over where it was just like, man, but like now where it's like, they didn't try to do the whole, well, you're just foreign, so you're bad, or you're a terrorist, or you're, Indian, or
Right.
whatever. They, like I said, Cody made it smart where he was like, well, you
Right.
came
I understand
here.
that, Michelle. Yeah. I get what.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, so to me, it was a good promo. It was fine. Like, I didn't get outraged at it or whatever, but I didn't think it was the best either.
Yeah.
But
Like it was definitely
also,
like.
I'm looking. I was also just like, oh shit, Double or Nothing. This is a match. I wasn't like,
Here's
hung
my
up on this.
and we're gonna
I was
talk.
like looking forward.
We'll talk more about this like later on in the double or when we get closer to Double or Nothing. But like I'm totally fine with this match, but it's one of those things. It's like, okay, I don't see a winning unless Anthony Ogogo is like the best, unless he's like a Kurt Angle or a 2002 2003 Brock Lesnar. Like unless he's like on that level, you're
I don't even know
really
who he is.
you're kind of in a no-win.
They said he was a boxer?
Yeah, like you're kind of in a no-win really scenario because it's like, okay, so he's one of the very few people to beat Cody, like kind of the Mox, Cody, Kenny, Bucks, there's kind of that aura about them still where it's like, hey, you beat them, that's still a big fucking deal kind of thing. So you give him the win, huzzah, and it's like, well, what if he sucks? Then you have like a Fandango Chris Jericho situation where it's like, okay, we really put these eggs in this Fandango basket and it wasn't that good, but it's either going to be like a grand slam or it's going to be a strikeout. That's my only real concern. I mean, what I've seen so far of Anthony Ogogo is like, I get it. You're building him up as a monster. That's great, but it's like eventually he's gonna have to work and do more than just throw punches.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean.
Well, Cody, he's the guy to put him over. He's going to be doing the work for him and shit. So
yeah, and then or like then you're like, well, he's not ready for that push yet, and then Cody wins, and then like the internet explodes because Cody Rhodes winning matches means that the internet explodes.
Yeah.
Never mind the Young Bucks winning matches or Kenny Omega winning matches.
I know that is true. When Cody wins him, it's like, oh fuck this guy, he's just putting himself over. It's like they're all fucking doing that.
Yeah, that's it. He just put himself over. He's like Jeff Jarrett's like, Kenny Omega holds 3 world championships right now.
Oh yes.
Yes. So we'll move on, but like yeah, like that. Those things I'm like we're gonna have to like talk a lot about like a middle of the road promo just because of the reaction of the fucking Twitterverse. It's like.
But that was my whole thing. I saw the whole promo and I was just like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
And then today I was just like, whoa, like people like, man, outrage culture, cancel culture. Right now I'm noticing too with a lot of my classes, we're getting a lot of the wave of kids coming from home. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Kids who were cooped up for a year and now this is their first time out, and their parents who just could not. The parents cooped up too, and they can't wait to complain about something. That's what we're getting a lot of lately,
right.
And it's kind of it sounds like a lot of that because I was like that was not offensive, that was not corny, that was not bad. It's setting up a good match. And
oh, Michelle, we're gonna get to that here in just a second. We're gonna get to that in just a second. But no, I get what you're saying. It's just kind of like, look, I enjoy being able to come on here and vent and bitch and piss and moan too. I enjoy being able to come in here and go, fuck Jay White, he's overrated, and then like everybody go like, you don't know good wrestling, and then like get the 3 high fives on Twitter about it. Like that's fine, as long as it's in like fun. But there are like people going like, I really hope that Cody Rhodes breaks his leg and then goes and be a stay-at-home dad because I hate him so much. And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. So it's like, over a promo, it's like, okay then. Like, I don't... Whatever. Wrestling's supposed to be fun. But,
yeah. Bottom line, right? Just let the fucking show... That's what I'm saying, man. At our classes, too, we have the whole class going, and then a parent will come up to us after and say, I think this is what you should be doing better, or I think this is what should be doing. It's like, dude, this is a fun class. Just sit back and relax, hold your criticism until the end, and if you really didn't like it after the whole thing was over, then say something.
Right.
Or whatever. But it's like, until then, yeah, right now it's just like everyone's just dying to be outraged, dying to say something, dying to jump on the bandwagon, dying to be a part of something. But it's like, dude, you're really gonna get mad at this promo? It's like, I didn't see it.
You're gonna be mad at this promo, like there's some like downright shitty shit that fucking Matt Riddle and Randy Orton are doing on Monday nights. Like, those are promos to be pissed off about and go like, what the fuck just happened? But Young Bucks versus SCU.
Love this fucking match.
Great match, but damn it. And as Michelle said, here's something to be pissed off about. So SCU breaks up, one of the founding teams of fucking AEW. Right. Most entertaining, like one of the first things you see on AEW pay-per-views, SCU. They break up. The twilight of Christopher Daniels' career. And instead of giving showing like the standing, like, you know, giving the standing ovation and the hug and giving that a moment, no, we immediately gotta go to the back to see Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley trashing the Elite's locker room. Now, I don't have a problem with them going to the back and showing that, but it's like, did that really need to happen that quickly?
Well, my biggest complaint was that Scorpio Sky wasn't with them at all, but then he comes out with his new tag team member later. Like, they buried that history already. It's right. Like, dude, if Scorpio would have came out with all three of them, and it would have been like a true SCU send-off. And at the end, instead of cutting out to the
and doing like a quick, hey, they hugged during the break, y'all. It's like, really?
Yeah, it would have been. It could have been so much better. But the match itself, just watching it and Daniel's fucking taking bleeding. Color.
Yeah,
that shit was great.
Very much. Like, there was that time, like when he was getting ready to hit the end, like come on, like I'm just holding out for hope. Like, the epitome of a good match is when you know the ending, but you forget when the ending's a foregone conclusion, but you forget it in the middle of the match, and then you're devastated that the ending is exactly what you knew it was going to be at the beginning of the match. That is a good match, and that is exactly how I felt.
Everyone was like, "Oh, I guess the Bucks is going to break up SCU," because it's like
we were saying this last week. I said on Twitter in a discussion with EZ. I'm like, you know, like Bucks are going to win, and I'm going to cry. But like, when they were getting the shit going, I'm like, here we go. No, it's not over. There's still time.
But dude, they put on a great fucking performance. All of them did, really. I'm just reading the comments. He said he laughed his ass off when Matt made a callback to "I'm sorry, I love you."
That was fun. But like, here's the difference. So it's like, okay, AEW just did the equivalent of, you know, all right, well, Shawn Michaels has just ended Ric Flair's career. To the back, we got to look at fucking Randy Orton is destroying John Cena's locker room. Oh, shucks. That was some TNA shit right there. That was some TNA shit going immediately to the back instead of selling something. That is some fucking TNA fucking bullshit. And it's unacceptable.
Read what Miss A says, because now I'm super into that idea, but too bad they didn't do it. She said, or Miss A says, I should say, or whatever, it should have ended at a draw, because I heard that the Orange Cassidy match we're going to talk about later, or whatever, came out in the draw, whatever. This one should have been the draw, and then a count out, so SCU says, well, we didn't lose technically, whatever, so let's do a last one at Double or Nothing to make a big hurrah. That could have been
That
way. They could. They could
yeah,
have.
because it's like,
They really should have spent an extra hour working on this idea.
right. So like, and here's something else. It's like, what do the Bucks have in store for Double or Nothing? I mean, like the Hangman's gonna go after Brian Cage. That's cool. Like, I like they're actually doing more with Brian Cage, but it's like,
I don't know. Just beating another team, like literally, like what?
best friends.
Until they
Maybe
finally
I don't
face,
know.
until they finally get to a point where they face the Good Brothers, because it's like, what's all this leading to? Like, what, you
Yeah.
know, what team right now is built up enough to even take the belt from them? But
Right. So
I don't know.
we brought up Pac and Cassidy, and that's the next match we're talking about. And like it was it was okay until, but I also like I'm kind of giving AEW a raw deal for that. This shows
I didn't
that
catch this either.
well, botch spot. Cassidy was hurt. They changed the ending on the fly. Like Cassidy's okay. It's now going to be a triple threat match at Double or Nothing, which is fine. But I'm gonna say that AEW definitely has learned from the Matt Hardy mistake with this, where it's like immediately like they knew what to do. They knew this isn't good. Switch shit up. So definitely good to see like that they learned from that major mistake back at All Out. The only thing I'm just gonna say in disappointment is, and like this was apparently the original plan all along. I believe Miss Ace even said that the plan all along was for the triple threat match, which is fine.
Right.
Don't have a problem with that, except
I just didn't catch it. Like I watched the whole thing and I thought it was like, oh, okay, this is. And then this morning, oh, apparently it was a botch.
Right.
I was like, oh, really?
The only thing, like, I'm not complaining about it, but it's just kind of one of those. It's like I was really excited about like just Kenny versus OC 1-on-1. It's like I'm not complaining because it's still gonna be damn fine, but it's just one of those. It's like, but
kind
Kenny,
of WWE kind of thing to do.
yeah, it's kind of a WWE kind of thing to do. I understand it. It's not like in a bad way a WWE thing to do, but it is kind of like, that, and I just like was hoping that maybe Orange Cassidy versus Kenny Omega would like maybe just make Jim Cornette spontaneously combust, and we'd never have to listen to his tennis racket wielding ass ever again.
Man, I deleted his fucking, I unsubscribed or whatever his channel like about a year ago or whatever, and I haven't looked back. I don't. And even nowadays, when people are like, "Oh, but Bully Ray now," it's like, but is he now the new Cornette? Because you can't really have an opinion about your own.
But Bully Ray isn't like the new. I wouldn't say he's the new Cornette in the sense of like he is, but at least he like will say like, "Hey."
He's not the end all be all.
Yeah, no.
Cornette at least had a little bit of experience too.
Right.
But it's like, are we gonna listen to who's next? The Towel Boy or the fucking, the Towel Boy podcast where all he does is talk shit about, oh, these guys don't know what they're doing. It's just like, yeah. But it's like, it's just watch it and enjoy it, and don't listen to that garbage because
or if you don't enjoy it, don't watch it. If kind of referencing two people that I'd love to see them come into the chat and defend themselves a little bit because we kind of keep referencing, but like, hey, we don't like AEW, and Bully Ray gives us, justifies why we don't like it. It's like, okay, well then don't watch it. Don't watch it.
Easy's in the chat. Reach out to Jim Cornette, see if he'll do a podcast with us.
Yeah. No, I don't want Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette is not welcome at Athletic Geek HQ. I get it, but it's like, so when are we going to get OC versus Kenny? Is that going to be All Out, or is that going to be when they give the... it's not going to be when they give the opportunity to Hangman, so it's kind of like they're slow burning a lot... They're slow burning a lot of stuff, and it's kind of like, okay, you got to tread lightly with some of that, because if you slow burn too many things, you're eventually going to split the audience. If an audience can get split pretty hardcore on a promo, imagine whenever, like, OC doesn't get the shot, or Hangman doesn't get the shot, or...
I know, what the hell's Hangman?
Ibushi. I don't mind Hangman waiting a little longer, because I do feel like Hangman is not quite there yet, but
Yeah, but Orange Cassidy's giving him
by
time.
all out, I'd say that Hangman would be ready if he's used correctly, and there'd be some good symbolism there. So it's like maybe they'll have a big Dynamite, maybe they'll have something, I don't know, for the one-on-one match with Kenny and OC, but I really kind of had my heart set on them as a main event.
Well, it's kind of like
I
they're
love Scott
trying to
D'Amore.
make their
I
version.
fucking love Scott D'Amore.
Who's that Funko Punk guy?
From Impact. But I love Scott D'Amore because when I was 16 years old and on MySpace, I was adding a bunch of wrestlers as friends on MySpace because I was a Mark dork. So the only one, like, I left a comment on Scott D'Amore's page about, like, getting into wrestling from, like, a business perspective because he ran independent promotion and before I dropped out of college because I'm a loser. I was a business major, was gonna be a business major, and he, like, actually, like, sent me a DM on MySpace, like, saying, like, and here's what you need to do, and, like, but honestly, in independence, there's not really any money to make a sustainable living. You gotta have other, like, he gave me, like, a real, like, career advice, because I thought, like, I'll just run an independent promotion and I'll be rich. And it's like, no, buddy, that's not how it works. So, yeah, I love Scott D'Amore. I fucking love Scott D'Amore. And I got to meet Scott D'Amore at Lockdown Fan Fest, and Scott D'Amore's the man.
Ooh.
So yeah. But still, yeah, good. Now here's something like, okay, here's something else. If you're gonna pick something to complain about, here's what I would have picked to complain about. So they have the Pinnacle Coronation, and
not hot enough chicks.
I'm not going to say no, definitely not. I'm saying that, like, okay, so it had to be interrupted with a bubbly truck. Really?
I thought that was cool. That was like that's like WWE, like in this whole show is kind of like
yeah, I know.
Attitude Era.
It's just like the fucking beer truck. It's just kind of like it's too.
But did you hear Vince's reaction, or the management, I should say, reaction to Blood and Guts? They said this set the wrestling industry back 30 years. And it's like, man, Vince is so out of touch with wrestling that he gave him a compliment, because go back 30 years. And this shit would exactly be happening on Monday Night Raw, where they're coming out with the beer truck and spraying people. Like, that was the good times.
Like, again, not a hill worth dying on, again, but it's just kind of like one of those, like, I saw it, and when I saw him coming out and there was a truck, like, in the thing, I saw the little bit, I'm like, they're going to spray him down. Like, it was funny when Kurt Angle parodied it, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, like, I kind of...
And I'm hyped for what's coming next.
I just, like, now, that I am hyped about. Stadium Stampede with
Stadium Stampede number 2.
That I am excited about.
I'm kind of bummed. It seems like Double or Nothing's not coming to Vegas no more. It's going to be exclusively there, so they can do Stadium Stampede 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well,
but fuck, man.
I don't know. I don't know.
Stadium Stampede was awesome.
No. I'm saying don't rule it out going into Vegas in the future. I'm just saying, like, that's all I'm saying. Like, no, I love Stadium Stampede. I'm excited about this. To me, just the bubbly truck was just a little, like, okay.
Too on the nose.
Exactly. It's a little too, just kind of, it would have been one of those, like...
Well, he's already done the Mimosa Mayhem. He's really milking this fucking... like, this is his gimmick now.
It was too on the nose. Like, when Kurt Angle did it, it was really on the nose. It's like, okay, it's funny because it's a milk truck and he's doing it to Steve Austin himself, and it's like, okay, this was just kind of like,
freaking common.
Like, no, I'm not gonna. But I don't know. Like, it was just one of those, like. I don't hate it, but it was one of those, like, if one of those two individuals that are all about the WWE and all about the Attitude Era, and this is why in AEW's Bush League were to, like, say, see, this is why we think they're stealing from the WWE and this is Bush League. Like, don't really think I could, as an AEW fan, come up with an argument to justify that. I'd be like, you're kind of right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, I don't know. It depends on if you're new, because like Little Ray, he's gonna be watching this going like, "Whoa, that was intense, most shit I've seen." And then
Yeah.
if he goes back and watches old footage and sees it was Kurt Angle living in Austin and stuff like that, he'd be like, "Oh, that's cool." But I thought it was pretty funny. But I like the comment thing because it says Miss Ace, that bubbly truck's gonna be the new ring
Yeah.
collectible. Like,
Well, I mean, I got the bubbly playset right here. Got
right? And now
Jericho
you
and
got
his
to get
bubbly.
the
I have, actually, no joke, I have Jericho and his bubbly, and I have the Kurt Angle milk truck set, and I put them together, and there's Jericho with his bubbly, and
Oh, did you really?
there's Kurt Angle with his milk on the table, and then there's
That's
Cody
hilarious.
Rhodes gonna smash the bubbly table. And
See?
then there's Daniel Bryan just hanging out right by him because he's Daniel Bryan. There's Ric Flair too. All right, but yeah. So I guess in that sense it's okay because it did make my playset here on here a reality.
Oh shit! You think they're watching? They're stealing our ideas, man.
Oh, okay. Oh, so they're stealing ideas. Great. Hey, AEW, listen, real quick. Okay.
That's not even a real background. First of all, it's green screen.
Anyway, so if you're stealing ideas, I really, really, really think it would be cool if, like, I don't know, you eventually had John Silver win the TNT title. Just we're here.
Oh shit!
Speaking of the TNT title.
This was my highlight of the week.
Oh, well, first of all, we also had a little squash match with Thunder Rosa, but I'm not complaining because I got to see Thunder Rosa, and any time with Thunder Rosa is a good time.
Well, she's trying to get back at the NWA title, right?
Yeah, that too. And we also had a good Britt Baker promo with JR. Might be meeting Britt Baker tomorrow, so pretty excited about that. But let's get to the
dog. You dirty dog.
Dirty dog.
Damn.
TNT Championship match: Darby Allin versus Miro. This is a great match, especially at the end.
Right person won.
Right person won. But like the false finishes were great there at the end. Like especially like the Darby's like dives are like ridiculous. Just like they're like a fucking like
he's legit just going for it. He's
boom,
gonna be so fucking hurt.
Yeah. That's Darby Allin's somebody else I might meet tomorrow, and there was only one part of me hoping that Darby won. It's like, well, if I meet him tomorrow at this convention, maybe he'll have the belt with him, and that might be neat. But
bring your own. Make one out of cardboard.
Yeah, Jessie McKay too. We need Jessie McKay also in the women's division. But yeah, so like great match. Miro won, which it's about time they do something with Miro. Like that's been kind of my one like.
Oh man, I feel like he joined the Dark Order. That'd be comedy gold. That would immediately make him number one again.
I mean, I still feel like Dark Order is pretty well number one, but again, kind of going what I'm saying, it's like, hey, who'd be a good person to take the belt off Miro? John Silver. Johnny Hungee for gold. I think he'd be a good choice. Now let Miro have
I want to see Miro have a good long run.
Oh, I want to see him have a good long run, but like at the end of the run, John Silver. Hey, let him hold the belt for a year. Let him hold the belt till Double or Nothing 2022. But John Silver will be waiting for you. That's what I want.
Right. Yeah, man. Darby did good.
It will be a money maker. Yes.
Did he have a specific plan? Did he have 9 title runs or 9 title defenses? Like, did they say he had 9 lives that ran out or whatever? Was that like his whole deal?
I'd have to go back and like recheck, but I will say like. The TNT title so far has been like, you want to call it a workhorse belt, like it has been the workhorse belt.
I'm glad it's the one that gets passed around the most.
Yeah,
but
it's like, like look at everybody who challenges for that belt gets elevated. Like look at how, like look when Cody first won it, like all the people that got elevated and all the new people that we got to see because of his open challenges, and then Brody wins it, and like unfortunately Brody probably due to his health, did not get to hold it for very long. But like Cody for Brody versus OC was great.
Yeah.
Then when Darby gets the belt, like look at all the matches that Darby had, for the title with John Silver.
Well, just his whole run with Sting and stuff is
the whole
gonna be
run with
cool.
Sting. So it's like, it just like I haven't seen a belt like really like that's a secondary belt really like feel this important since the glory days of the Intercontinental title. Honestly.
I love those days.
Oh,
I miss
yeah.
those days so much.
Oh,
That
yeah.
felt like a legit second. Not the WWE red or blue belt.
Right.
It felt like the heavyweight and the IC belt. Like, yeah.
Right.
And the oval one. That's the one I grew up with. Oval plate.
Jericho versus Austin for single in a bubbly beer and milk match. That's too much at once. It's too much at once. I don't want milk with my bubbly or my beer.
It's gonna hurt your stomach.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt you. That's gonna make you sick. It's gonna make you sick, easy. I guess the milk is for you because Mr. Straight Edge.
Easy doesn't drink alcohol, but you don't want to be. If you have like 3 White Russians, you're sick for the whole night. That milk and the vodka mixture, you can't have milk. I
drink milk with like my cereal or my protein shakes. I'm not like really a big fan of just drinking milk. Or when I've had like really spicy food and I need it. Like, I'm not just a big fan. I can't be Kurt Angle. I'm not just the guy that just sits down and drinks milk. That's just not my bag.
I ate a lot of spicy Mexican food, and so I always have a thing of chocolate milk because I'm always having to swig it.
All right. Well, yeah, that is pretty much the show this week. Appreciate everybody for coming out. Appreciate EZ for still being able to hang out with us, even though he's hanging out with the Jesse and the Dark Casting the Pinnacle. That would be cool, actually. Yeah.
If they do come, I want to see them together.
Do this stuff. Yeah.
Do
that too.
True, though.
Yeah,
we have good ideas.
That's good ideas. So, just like you don't have to pay me. Well, okay, you do have to pay me. Like,
you do.
Pay me in figures and tickets. You don't have to pay me like real money. Just
you can pay us on Mercari by buying anything you see on the screen.
Yeah, it's not for sale. But you can pay us.
Just Google wrestling fan, and then you get this image, and that's how we have the background.
But yeah, definitely. Just pay us in like when the new figures come out. Just be like, boom, here you go. Here, and they're in free protective cases too, because Ringside Collectibles
those are expensive. Holy shit, they're expensive.
Yeah. No, we'll get you in on that. We'll send you some of the figures. Like, there's gonna be figures that, I already have a Cody and a Kenny. I don't need any more of like the 5,000 Cody Kennys. That I know you're a Mox fan, so like I'll send you the Mox. Like that's for you.
Didn't you meet Sammy? Did Sammy have figures available?
Not anywhere I can find. We'll find out the con if he's got any figures available, but I couldn't find any that I could have got here at a reasonable price by tomorrow. So I'm just gonna have my Darby and my Dustin signed, and some Kane stuff signed, and some Britt Baker stuff signed, and some Booker T stuff signed, and all that.
Hopefully he has them for sale there.
I'm not gonna brag, but like you can kind of see the Hangman right there, Michelle, is signed. It's right there in the corner, right above Jake the Snake, and there that's the signed Hangman. Lucha Bros have not been signed, but I have them. Yeah, so that's the show. Thank everybody for watching. And if you're in the Indianapolis area and you're gonna be at Squared Circle Expo tomorrow, and you're like, see me, say hello. You'll be like, hey, that's Geek. I think you suck. I think you suck. Fuck you for liking Cody Rhodes. And I'll be like, well, sorry you feel that way.
Hey, editor, let's change the background to the weather for tomorrow. And they go, and then enter.
Or I can do like the Vanna White, like we can change it and play like Wheel of Fortune, just be like boom, boom, like do all that. You'll take all my Canadian gear. Okay, here you go.
Gotta upgrade the software.
Don't really have a lot of Canadian gear, but All right, so holler at me if you recognize me at Squared Circle tomorrow. Definitely be a fun time. First convention I've gone to in a long time, so I'm pretty excited. Hoping to get to meet some
Where am
great
I at?
AEW talent and some great legends and all that stuff. And I will have stickers to give away to help promote the show. So thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to Eric. Getting ready to move soon, so buy stuff on Macari. This stuff isn't for sale, but he has stuff for sale. Check that out. And
I'm doing all new postings this weekend. I'm deleting all my old shit and then revamping it. Whatever, everything has to go. So
everything has to go.
whatever.
All right. So if you enjoyed, please give it a like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on social media, facebook.com/athleticgeek89, Twitter athletic_geek89, Instagram athleticgeek89 if you'd like to help the channel out financially. Patreon.com/athleticgeek89. Check out my other videos. Check out Amalgam May on Collection Comic of the Week. Check out the Geeking Out podcast. Got a really big one next week. Definitely check that out. And for Eric Wade, I'm Athletic Geek. We're just Marks, and we're out. Have a good one.
If this stuff isn't for sale, why do we give